Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about everything that I sent to my accountant this year so that they can prepare my taxes. So we are starting and soon we'll be getting deep into tax time. So hopefully this can serve as a little motivation if you are helping your bookkeeping clients prepare for tax time, or if you own a small business yourself, like your bookkeeping business or a different business, and you need to get that ball rolling, get your brain moving on what types of things you need to be collecting for your accountant. And I'm a bookkeeper, I do not prepare taxes. I have a video that talks about that right here. If you should or should not prepare taxes, it'll be linked in the description box as well. So this is kind of like the basic stuff as a bookkeeper that you'll need to think about. And then the last third of this video, I have a list of other things that I personally sent that is a little more specific to me. I'm also going to link a few other videos for you that I think you'd find helpful. I have one how I work with accountants. I have one about my year-end process as a bookkeeper last year, and also one that talks about the differences between bookkeepers and accountants and CPAs and tax preparers, and that all gets confusing. So watch that one after this. So now in my household, we have two businesses. I have a business and my husband has a business. I own a bookkeeping business, and I started out as an LLC. So this tax year, I'm going to be an LLC. I am switching to an S Corp, which is something you can look into and ask a CPA if it makes sense depending on your income level. And in my business, I have 3 contractors that work for me and no employees. And my husband's business structure, I believe, is called a partnership corporation, a PC, which is a bit more complex than my business. He has about 10 to 12 employees, so we run payroll for that. And because of his business structure, he gets both a salary and a distribution. So he gets a regular W-2 like any employee would get for any business. And then he gets distributions as an owner that basically kind of comes out of the profit of the business. So as you can see, we have a few things going on. Some of them might be familiar to you, some of them might not be. And we did get a new accountant this year, so we're kind of starting fresh with a new nice checklist and stuff, so I wanted to share that with you guys. And our accountant did send us a packet with all this stuff, a bunch of stuff we had to say yes or no, we own a house, yes or no, we have kids. So starting out with the engagement letter, we just had to sign this to say, yes, we give you permission to complete our taxes. Access to QuickBooks. So if you go into the gear icon and then manage users, you can add an accountant to a QuickBooks account. So I use QuickBooks Online Accountant, as you know, and I have all my clients listed under there. It's very easy to add the accountant to one of my clients' books. It was a little trickier to add it to my books because it was like I was adding the accountant as a member of my bookkeeping firm. So let me know in the comments if you've had that problem before and if you've had any trouble with it, because even when I gave him complete access, he wasn't able to pull the reports he needed. So anyways, I just sent him the reports that he needed, but I'm curious if anyone else has had that problem too. And for many years, I didn't even give my accountant access to QuickBooks. I would just pull them a profit and loss detail, and a balance sheet and send it to them. So that is definitely an option, especially if your business is pretty simple. Next is bank and credit card statements. So for every account that we have, which is 2 checking and 2 savings account for the businesses, I sent him the January statement and the December statement. Some CPAs might want the whole year of bank statements, so you can check on that. But that was just those 8, I believe, statements that I sent him. And my accountant uses SmartVault, which is a secure way to send all of these documents. I have a video coming out. I think it won't be out for a couple months, but it's all about how to send confidential information as a bookkeeper. So I'll link that too when it's ready. And you want to send any 1099s you have. So for me, I have multiple sources of income, and for you, maybe each one of your clients is giving you a 1099. So maybe you work for 10 clients as a bookkeeper, they should all give you a 1099. For some of my income sources, I had to log into a website and search where to find the 1099. So like YouTube AdSense, so I get a 1099 from YouTube. I had to go into my AdSense account and within my Gmail accounts and figure out how to download that. So sometimes it takes a little bit of searching to get the 1099s, but you do want to be collecting those as they come out all through January. I'll leave you my video in the description box about that too. Next thing is taxes paid. So your accountant needs to know how much you've already paid in taxes to see, how much you owe. And this is something we kind of did not have a good grasp on in the past. So I really try to be proactive. I pay all of our quarterly taxes online on the IRS website. So if you make a login and you always log in with the same info, you can see your history of how much you've paid. And our accountant did list all the forms we needed. And some of them were payroll taxes, how much payroll taxes we used, which I had to go into our payroll company, Gusto. and download some of that information. So they listed like all the tax forms, which I don't even know what they all are, but it's like a 940, a 941, Form 132, and Schedule B. So all of these possible taxes that you could have paid, they need to know. That leads me to payroll. So again, I went into our payroll company and I downloaded pretty much all the reports I could find that I thought would be helpful. They wanted receipts for charitable donations, so I uploaded those into the Smart Vault system. The W-2 for employees, so that's my husband. Like I said, he gets a salary, so we included his W-2. I do not get a W-2 because I only work as a contractor and I'm not an employee of my business. Then a fixed assets list. So this isn't like my strong suit, but basically if you have bigger assets like equipment and stuff, then you want to depreciate it every year. So basically we have this ongoing list of assets, and so we needed to cross off any assets that we got rid of this year and add any new ones that we bought. Info about home office spaces. So this is my home office. I let the accountant know what percentage it is of my entire square footage of my house. So I pulled this up a few years ago. I think I found the square footage and then, did all the math about what the percentage was. Same with internet usage. You can also do cell phone. I don't really use cell phone for my business that much, but talk to your CPA if you own your own business and it makes sense for you to deduct some of those home office expenses. All right, next is retirement contributions. So who's ever managing your retirement accounts, there's a certain IRS form that they're required to give you. So again, we logged onto that website, pulled it off, and then gave it to the accountant. And then there was a questionnaire. There was like a 7 to 10 page questionnaire, and they just ask everything that might affect our taxes. So like, did we have a new kid this year? Did we get married or divorced? Did we buy real estate? Did we get an inheritance? Like any of this stuff, it was like check yes, yes, or most of ours were no. It was like check no, 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 no. Okay, yes, we had one of those. We might need to find documentation on that thing. So we had to basically check yes or no on all these questions and possibly get more documentation for certain things if we did have a yes. So then based on this questionnaire, here is another list of things that you might want to include. I think these are things that we did end up needing. So my first list is kind of like the general stuff that everyone needs, and then this list can be a little more specific, but I thought this would be helpful for you guys to see also what I am needing this year. And I'll go over these more quickly. The first one is a mortgage statement. If you own a house, you need this form 1098, which is like an automatic form they should send you, or you'll need to go into your mortgage company and download it. 401k match. This is for my husband's business because he does a matching program, and so he needs to know how much the employer contributed as the match. Cash distributions are basically like our own paychecks, like how much did we take in owner's draws. Loans, if there's any loans. My husband used to have loans on his business because he bought it from another partner, but now we have those paid off, so we don't really have any loans. PPP Forgiveness was during the pandemic when if you didn't want to lay off your people, you could like apply for money if you needed that. So we needed a letter for that. An operating agreement, which I don't know, I think that just tells like how the business was formed or like some of the procedures. Payments to college funds for our kids. So in Oregon, we have what's called a 529. And then the last thing on the list is student loan stuff. So if you're paying off student loans, I think they want to know how much you paid and how much interest you incurred. And then anything about inheritance, if you inherited money that's taxable. And then mileage. I do have a video about mileage I will link below. It's a little tricky. There's different ways to track mileage. Any real estate transactions, like I said, that can have a big impact on your taxes. We didn't have any this year. And a property tax statement, which we do pay property taxes. So that is a lot of stuff. It was like really overwhelming actually to like be collecting all this stuff. Luckily, I mean, I've been doing it for a number of years now, so I kind of like have a little bit of foresight, and I like learn from my mistakes every year. I'm like, oh, we didn't track our tax payments very well, our quarterlies, so I need to make sure that I track them very well this year. So let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed, anything else you had to get to your accountants. Give me a little clapping emoji in the comments if this was helpful. Give this video a thumbs up if you're trying not to file like an extension this year. And let's just chat and commiserate in the comments about how you're feeling about tax time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you next week with another bookkeeper video. Thanks so much. Bye.